just turned my phone back on, and it's like booting up a PC in the fucking 90s. It's like just taking so long, and then you start using it and everything's in slow motion. Why am I doing a weekly update for Android if it works like shit like this? It should work so good. And what's with these fucking weekly updates? I used to get an update. And another thing, nice way to start. I hardly ever used to get those phone updates. Like maybe once a year. You know, and now they're like fucking 3 times and 4 times a month. What the fuck are they doing? Are they getting worse at doing this shit? Or I mean, I never see anything different. They're just making the listening devices better, and the AI devices better, and the data collection better. It's fucking gay. Anyway, I woke up, I didn't wake her up. She was still kind of half sleeping, Nia, the other night, because I had one of those, like, downloads that I get less and less of. I still get them, you know, but when I first started this channel a couple years ago, or 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, I uploaded a lot of videos that I was just making for myself. I would have these little, like epiphanies or understandings that would just pop up. And if it was me alone in the room, I would start recording. Or if she was at home or sleeping, I'd run into the bathroom and go like, all right, I just figured this out. But I had one of those. And it was that I always had this kind of idea, right? That when you die, you don't go anywhere. Because there's been no judgment. So where do people go when they die? What I theorized was that since there is no time, right, outside this area, and since whoever dies that has a spirit is part of you anyway, they really can't go anywhere without you. So I just figured maybe once they move outside time, or their fraction or fractal of our consciousness that we all have comes out of the body, it exists in a kind of nowhere spot. Like, I guess it would be a purgatory that they don't even have to experience. And then I started reading about something I read a long time ago. I reread, let me fucking start that whole thing again. I saw an article about a concept in theoretical physics about how possibly, since our energy can't be destroyed, when we die, we move to another version of ourselves in another timeline, one that is close to us, so that there's not that many differences, or differences that are just small enough so that it can't be noticed. Theoretically, they do some weird shit in theoretical physics. They talk about that seems like something that would be like a spiritual, well, it is a spiritual, but almost like religious. But at any rate, you know, they were discussing it, right? And I'd heard this theory a long time ago. I never really thought much about it. Like, yeah, you might, you know, what they're saying is you never really die. If a car hits me here, right, and this body dies, in the same split second, I'd be in a version of me that doesn't get hit by the car. And you just keep moving like that. You don't actually die. Your energy, just keeps moving through all these different possible alternate timelines that they say exist, which I've always had a problem with, but, you know, over time I've gotten to the idea that it's fine, because basically it's all us meaning we're the one fucking divine being here. We're the progeny of God, whatever you want to say that is, and this is all us. Not everyone, but the 5% that have divinity, that have souls, their souls are connected to ours. We're one consciousness, split into different people, acting like they're their own person. So we're all kind of one. So it makes sense when to die and actually move on to the other realm. You know, there has to be like a day of judgment, and then we all go, because we all have to go together, because we all are one thing together, split up into different bodies, expressing themselves as individuals. Bob or Ron or Lisa or Jermaine or Keisha or Shaniqua, whatever. They have names, and they think they're a person, when they're just part of the bigger one thing, the whole right here. And I think that's one of the reasons why we can be controlled a lot easier, because we're all split up. You know, if we were one consciousness altogether, it would be a lot harder to screw us over. But I think we were split up so that we could experience a bunch of things at once while we were here. Some people say this place is like a training ground, or was a school of some kind, and I get that tip, but I don't think it was supposed to be like so harsh. It was. I feel like this is just one of a lot of different places we go to figure some stuff out. We're creative beings. That's the power we have, is creativity. That's why it's so often hijacked by evil ones, because they don't have it. So I think our thing here was to create stuff. And there was a guy years ago that did a DMT trip, which they say is almost like going over to that other side, that other place where we're originally from. And he came upon a group of people who were in a clearing building buildings. They're making these giant buildings. And he said they kind of look like the buildings that we have still in the world that we refer to as Tartarian or older prehistory buildings. And they were making them with their mind. I don't know, was that how these happened here? It would explain why there's no bathrooms or plumbing in any of them, because you really didn't need it. Am I going to make this? Yeah, 10, 9, 8. I'm doing it. I'm not just doing it, it's done. So, yeah. I don't know. So if your spirit is, or you, because what they call the spirit is actually you. So if you're zigging around to all these different versions of yourself, then it would negate having to move anywhere at once. I mean, so we could all really would go together when indeed the reckoning happens here in whichever way, shape, or form it happens. So there isn't a purgatory. There's just they're moving somewhere else. We in this timeline don't experience a person anymore, but they exist somewhere else. It raises a lot of questions for me. You know, thinking, well, when you go to another one, you're still the same age. Like if you're an old person, like and you're old, and you know, and you keep moving, you just how do you start the moving process at a much younger age so that you don't have to deal with, you know, moving around in your advanced years? I don't know. There's a lot of questions. There's probably more questions than answers, but I think it's a good thing to. It's an interesting thing to think about. It's good to think about stuff like this. At least I think it is. It's better than a lot of what these fucking robots here are thinking about. Thinking about lunch right now. Lunch, how they can cheat on their wife, what they're gonna have for dinner after lunch, what shoe store to go to. They're not high functioning like me, who's thinking about going to Ross like he does every day. You know, that's I'm a cut above them. My hair is at the length now where I can just wake up and kind of shake it and go. No shower necessary. I just talking to Nia at work, and she needed some minute. Like she was just dragging, you know. So I was like, I'll send you some energy. And I, like a magician, like a stage magician, that has their assistant to hand them the rabbit to stick in the hat. She's my assistant with cool magic. And I always tell her if I'm doing something on her just to see if it'll work. And a lot of times it does work. Most dramatically was one day with when she was hot somewhere. And it wasn't like a spell per se. It was just sort of sending energy, like a prayer. Like prayers are just energy. And the wind picked up around her. And it cooled her, and it cooled the area off. Like it didn't, that wasn't what I saw. I was just focused on her in my mind, what she looks like, the shape of her body, all the details. And then what I did is I imagined a bolt, like a like an energy kind of bolt that would go from me. And you don't have to really know exactly where the person is, but the more you know what they look like, the better. And I was just trying to cool her body down, and yeah, she said a fucking windstorm came blowing over by the bus station. So I try to do that with her at work all the time. It's like, I didn't sleep enough last night. I'm usually up all night because a lot of my work I do at night, because a lot of stuff I do is in a different time zone. So my night is someone's morning. So by the time I'm all done what I have to do, she's going to work, you know. So she's at work usually now, and this is me. This is like kind of my nighttime. My hours are all fucked up, so I'll try to sleep around, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Wake up at 7, 8 if I have time. I come out here and do this. But at any rate, all that fucking blabber is to say that, yeah, I do a lot of stuff like that with her. That's all. I mean, all other kinds of magic you can do is just extra stuff on top of it. Like at the very bare minimum, it's intent, it's willpower, and it's imagination. No matter what you're doing. And ceremonial magic and ritual magic, it has added stuff on top of it that strengthen the spell you're trying to do, or strengthen the thing you're trying to have happen. That's basically all it really is. So yeah, that covers magic, settled science. The other day I was talking about I just weave shit into my fucking videos. Sometimes I'll drop something that's kind of cool, but you don't get to hear it because it's fucking 3/4 in and it's surrounded by a bunch of crap. But not crap, this isn't crap, we're doing fucking good things here. But I was talking about a story, how I came home late in the night, not late in the night, later in the night than I normally would. And I had this problem where my peripheral vision, all of it, had these wavy sort of rainbow lines around it, like trying to tune in a TV screen. I thought there's something wrong with my eyes, but being the kind of guy I am, it didn't take me long to figure out what was happening. And what it was is I was seeing what's really there. I'd always like if I'm not looking at this, if I'm not looking right at it, when I turn over here, that's gone. It doesn't exist. Things only come together. Reality only works with you as a participant. It reacts to you. I'm not going to bring up the double slit experiment, but if you know what I'm talking about, double slit experiment. Basically, they found out that the atoms don't do anything unless you're. I mean, yeah. When you look at them, they freeze. When you're not looking at them, they're just they're fucking like the waves I was seeing on the side of my eyes. Hang on a second. I'm going to the 7-Eleven store to buy incense. Thank you. Hold on. Oh, the real wild child. I had to record this because I was afraid I was hallucinating. Like, they're playing Iggy Pop in the Target. Had to stop filming because I got so much crap on me. I think it's my right is now heavier than my left, so I'm like, I must be walking kind of lopsided too, because I've noticed people looking at me like there's something wrong. More than usual. People usually look at me like there's something wrong, but more than usual. Yeah, I had to record that in there because I thought I was fucking hallucinating. They're playing Iggy Pop at the Target. Like, what the fuck? Now, it's not his most subversive track, of course, but it's just still unusual that he got on that kind of playlist. I saw a video the other day exposing Iggy Pop, Pedialyte or something. He was using the word, you know. And I'm like, what did he do? You know, I'm like, oh no, he was almost out of here. And he did something. He did, and it was another fucking retarded Zoomer trying to like cancel him for lyrics that are like 50 years old. You know, he's going over all these lyrics, going through his lyrics, like just, it's like, dude, so long ago. Like, these people don't give you a break. They're gonna, you know, go after people who did stuff in the last century soon. They're running out of people whose lives they're trying to ruin. I've seen a lot of people go up the lyrics of bands, you know, from the 70s or, you know, earlier. And it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit fucking lyrics. And a lot of he said, she said crap. Now, Iggy did have a very young girlfriend in the late 70s, early 80s. And there was that groupie scene that he was a part of with Bowie. And, you know, it's hard to tell someone it was a different time. Because, like, what do you mean? It doesn't matter. These girls are still 16 years old. What the hell is it? Trust me, it was a different time. No one cared about that stuff. I mean, even the music itself, you know, you had Winger 17, Kiss, Christine 16, Motley Crue, all in the name of rock and roll. She was 15. It was, you know, it was not good. It was scummy. You know, it wasn't something people cheered, but it was part and parcel of the rock and roll experience. These days, like, you know, that's why rock and roll isn't around. You can't really have it around. It'd be offensive to too many people. Now, although, if you're not a white European, you can say anything you want. I mean, you know, hip-hop is full of degenerate fucking lyrics. It's all about the dick, and then the hip-hop females sing about their vagina. It's just how it is. They can do what they want. My people can't, though. Or else we're the bad men. We're the bad men anyway, no matter what, so it's like, whatever. I try to just have fun with it and laugh. It's good. You have to laugh, because what are you going to do? Walk around seething all day? The system's, you know, it's set up against you. Of course. Yet you watch all these other different special interest groups talk about how the system's against them. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Do we both go into the same world every day? It's mental. Anyway, I'm home. I'll yell in a little bit. Just want to make a note of that breakthrough I had, which I'm not sure is a breakthrough, but it's something that more to think about. Because I was always like, well, when you leave the body, you can't go to whatever the kingdom of heaven would be, because it's not, you can't, because it's not there. We all have to go together as one being, because we are one being. So where is this purgatory that these fractions of our souls sit in? And possibly they just go to another version of you and just fucking keep rolling. Brings up, you know, I've read things about how people got in an accident, a car accident, that they thought were going to die from, or some near-death thing, and they ended up dying. They ended up being okay. You know, there's one story where a woman was driving her young kid in the back in a baby seat, and she said she just had this real feeling of anxiety and adrenaline spike, and she was like, what was that? And the kid in the back was like, cargo boom, mommy's cargo boom. And she's like, what? She's thinking, like, was there, you know, she's alluding that there was some kind of accident. So did she have an accident and just move to another timeline? Did the kid come? I don't know. Who knows? But it's something to think about, and I'm going to think about it a lot more. To an unhealthy degree, actually. And maybe we'll discuss it more when I come back out. Thanks for dropping in. Making sure the van hasn't gotten me yet. It will. It will. It's just a matter of time. But until then, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.